October 14th. Oh, I'm sorry. Are we on now? Everybody got quiet, so I thought, okay, we're ready. All right, welcome everyone to the October 14th, 2019 meeting of the Delaware County Board of Commissioners. I'm going to ask Auditor Kites, please, to lead us in the pledge.
States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Auditor Kites. I'm Barb Lewis, President. To my left, our Vice President, Jeff Benton. To my right, fellow Commissioner Gary Merrill.
Well, thank you. That's a nice gift.
That is very nice. Very nice.
Matches your tie.
It does.
It does.
Congratulations.
To be read.
And we also have with us our Administrator Mike Fromer, our Clerk Jennifer Walraven. We can begin.
Resolution number 19-1017 in the matter of approving the electronic record of proceedings from regular meeting held October 10th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion vote.
Vote on motion 19-1017. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
We do not have any public comment today. That brings us to item number 3, resolution number 19-1018 in the matter of approving purchase orders and now certificates and payments of warrants in batch number CMAPR 1011 and memo transfers in batch number MTAPR 1011.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion vote.
Vote on motion 19-1018. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-1019 in the matter of approving travel expense request.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion vote.
Vote on motion 19-1019. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-1020 in the matter of a transfer of license request from Sparrow Ventures LTD to Swan Lake Event Center LLC and forwarding to the Ohio Division of Liquor Control with no objections and no request for a hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion vote.
Vote on motion 19-1020. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-1021 in the matter of acknowledging receipt of an application for domestic violence funds for 2020, estimating the amount of funds anticipated and allocating the same to qualified applicants, all pursuant to Chapter 3113 Ohio Revised Code.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion vote.
Vote on motion 19-1021. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-1022 in the matter of scheduling the special commissioner sessions for the 2020 budget hearings starting at 9:30 a.m. Friday, November 1st, 2019, and continuing through Wednesday, November 20th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion vote.
Vote on motion 19-1022. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-1023 in the matter of canceling the commissioner's session for Thursday, December 5th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion vote.
Vote on motion 19-1023. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-1024 in the matter of approving the application for designation of charitable agencies under the Delaware County Charitable Agency Support Policy.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jane Hawes, Communications Director. We have before you the resolution. Every 2 years, we have to select the agencies that our employees can designate to make charitable contributions to through payroll. We received 3 applications in our committee. I'd like to thank Natalie Fravel, Cy Keeley, Brad Lutz, and Tracy Whitehead, along with myself. We met, reviewed the applications, and we felt that all 3 did meet the requirements. So we will be setting up United Way again, People in Need also returning, and then a new one called Stock Hands Horses for Healing. It's an equine therapy agency, and we'll be adding them to the list of charities that people can designate, and we will set up, have our enrollment period beginning November 1st through December 1st for our employees to sign up. So, if you have any questions.
No, program, so got some good charities. Thank you. Vote.
Vote on motion 19-1024. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution number 19-1025, in the matter of establishing the date, time, and place for public hearings to consider levying a real property tax pursuant to Section 322.02 of the Ohio Revised Code.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. George Kaitza, Delaware County Auditor. Commissioners, this year our property tax transfer which is more commonly known as a conveyance fee, expires. So we need to hold 2 public hearings before deciding to continue with that property transfer tax. Also, we may want to consider making it a continuous process as opposed to, there is authority to make it continuous as opposed to having a 10-year cycle on it. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. I did send all of you some background information on the conveyance fee, and I'm actually happy to report that our fees are now back up to 2005 levels. You know, so that says a lot about the strength of our real estate market here in Delaware County.
Right.
I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
Yeah. No, as you mentioned, you did a good job of explaining the background and the purpose of the tax and so on, so appreciate
Thank you,
that.
Commissioner Benton.
Vote.
Vote on motion 19-1025. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Thank you very much, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Resolution number 19-1026, in the matter of approving Amendment Number 2 to the agreement for the 2017 Local Agricultural Purchase Program Cooperative Agreement between the Ohio Department of Agriculture and the Delaware County Commissioners.
So moved.
Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 10-26.
Go ahead.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill? Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
I'm sorry, we had a distraction. I
Okay, that's okay.
clarify, I want to get George back if I could.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to continue, or you want me
Yeah,
to
we have
wait?
continue.
Oh,
You
sure.
took the vote, didn't you?
Yes.
You want, yeah. Did you vote?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Resolution number 19-1027, in the matter of approving right-of-way work permit summary sheet.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Vote. Oh, sorry.
Morning, Commissioners. Rob Riley, Chief Deputy Engineer. We just had 6 standard utility permit installations, recommending your approval.
Okay. Vote.
Vote on motion 19-1027. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-1028, in the matter of approving a contract of sale and purchase between Thomas S. Jessup and the Board of Delaware County Commissioners for Dell CR 13-1.65.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
This is one of the parcels on Worthington Road at the intersection of Africa Road that we've reached agreement with the property owner to purchase this necessary right-of-way, and we're recommending approval at this time.
Okay. Vote.
Vote on motion 19-1028. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill? Resolution number 19-1029, in the matter of approving the plat of subdivision for North Star Section 1, division of Lot 644 with additional land and Hemsouth CAD.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
These 2 plats have been through the required approvals by all the county agencies. The subdivision off in North Star is located right at the intersection of North Galena and Wilson Road. And then Hemsmouth CAD is a small common access drive subdivision off of Beanalla Road in Concord Township.
Okay. Vote.
Vote on motion 19-1029. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill? Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
That brings us to administrator reports.
I have nothing to report this morning.
And I forget who went last, so I'll say Commissioner Merrill.
Yeah, I apologize for the distraction. The county lost a person last week. Longtime supporter of this county and no pun intended, but I think a real treasure in the county in a lot of ways other than just in the role he played as treasurer. And George was leaving, and I thought it'd be appropriate because he worked a lot closer in a lot of respects than we did. And George, I don't want to put you on the spot, but it was, I think you might like to make a comment, and I think we may.
Sure.
No, I'd be happy to speak. John was a very dear friend of mine, and it really was a very, very sad day for me personally and for Delaware County when we heard the news about John's passing. John was a leader. In fact, I followed him in a number of positions. I followed him as finance director at Franklin County. And then, of course, John was the county auditor here, and I followed John in that regard. And John has just been a wonderful person. He always cared about the less fortunate and making sure that they were not lost in, as our society moves forward. And so it was with a great deal of sadness that we received the news about John. So I know he's in a better place now, but I know it leaves a very large hole in all of our hearts. So thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you so much, Auditor Keitze. Commissioner Benton.
Yeah, it was a real hit to our stomachs. My heart just sank when I heard the news. Auditor Keitze let everyone know last Thursday. And actually, John and I had a different relationship. We were in high school together. So I've known him for, well, a lot of years. It's been a lot of years. Again, aside from being a friend, he was just such a great leader in Delaware County and Delaware City. He did so many things to help, minister, to those in need. He did a great job as state rep, county treasurer. He was a leader in so many ways in automation and technology, making it easier for the residents to do business with the county, and he just really cared. And it was just and he'd been through so much health-wise in the last few years, and he just always maintained that really cheerful, positive outlook. And he had been through so much. I never heard him once complain. And in the last few months, he really seemed to be improving, and getting through some things. And then we lost him last Thursday. So, so we will all miss him in many ways.
Commissioner Merrill?
Yeah, I used this same brief phrase a few months ago when we lost another dear person in our county. That was Don Wirtz. John had this quiet strength about him, and he had this passion for this county that you just can't put into words. I became acquainted with John initially back my days as publisher of the Gazette, and that relationship got a little stronger as he gave me some advice when I made a decision to run for commissioner. Commissioner Benton said it really well. He had a strong, and maybe it's George Keitze said it, strong caring for those in need, those who were underprivileged, and he was a real ambassador, real power of strength to help those people. He was just a great guy, great gentleman. I know the land bank was extremely important to him. He was so excited about it, and
For example of his leadership.
Another, right.
and he'll sorely be missed there as we figure that out. And I just can't put into words how I feel. I was shocked when I got the text Thursday afternoon, and as we all were, we were aware of the procedure he was going to partake in, and it was my impression from his comments that he was going to have it done and come back the next day. So it didn't sound, and I'm not sure exactly what happened, what the sequence was down there, but and I don't want to speculate about that, but I know he was down there for a procedure. And with all of his health issues, you never saw it in his attitude, you never saw it he was always upbeat, and he always used the words "my friend" a lot. And to me, and I'm assuming to most people we talk to, that was his way of connecting, and those two words, "my friend," I will carry for a long time, and I'll think of John when I hear that, because it was a phrase he used all the time, and was serious about it. I think he looked at us all as his friends and the roles we played, and just being part of this great county. So, and he is in a better place. There's no question about that. I know he was very religious and very caring, and he was pastor of the church for a period of time. And though I don't know what else I can say other than, John, God bless you.
Well, it is really difficult to talk about John. It was such a shock, and even though he had been in bad health, I mean, for so long, he was always upbeat. And I remember after we had our last investment meeting, he just said, well, okay, I'm gonna go for an operation, and then, after that, I may be able to walk again. And so it's difficult to lose him. One of the things that most impressed me about him, and I must admit, when I read the Gazette, I had no idea of all that he had done as far as being a public servant. I knew he was a pastor, but I mean, as Auditor Keitsa mentioned, what he did in Franklin County, and then coming here, I didn't realize he was the auditor before you, George, and it's like, wow. I mean, just a very, very remarkable career. But I guess one of the things that really touched me most about John was that he truly walked in. He was at home in any circle, meaning that he cared deeply about the homeless, could speak to them just as well as he could speak to the Speaker of the House and the governor, and he didn't treat anyone. He treated everyone with respect, and he was just a great man. So we're going to miss him. And thank you, Auditor Keitsa. You were very close to him. Thanks for staying and saying a few words. And that's really, boy.
It's hard to transition, but
It is. It's hard to transition to.
I'll make an effort. Since I
Okay,
was in.
okay,
The only
thank
other
you.
comment I'll make regarding the Delaware Foundation, which we all attended. It's a great event, and Marlene's going to be retiring into the year. She's sorely going to be missed. It gets back to, we have so many great people in this county doing great work and have a passion, whether it's John or Marlene or whoever. And there's a sell out. We need a bigger place to hold these kinds of events. It's at the Renaissance Hotel, and it's always great to, I'm not going to list the honorees, but the 4 honorees, people who are doing good things for our county are identified each year, and the 4 that were identified last Thursday night are special and what they do in our county. So with that, I'll pass the baton.
Any,
Yeah, again, just kind of on that, the foundation dinner. The foundation was started in 1995 by Pete Manos, local attorney, and it had, I don't know, 100 or 100 and some $1,000 in assets in the beginning, and now it's got almost 15 million as people have become aware of it and contributed to it and set up funds there, et cetera. And Marlene was there 15 years. And she is, as Commissioner Merrill mentioned, she's retiring at the end of the year. Done a really nice job of creating awareness, use. The foundation donates $1 million a year, in various funds and activities.
that's
So
what I thought, it was $1 million.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah,
$1
they
million a
mentioned
year.
that the
The
other-
lion's share of that goes to scholarships, college scholarships.
Okay.
They have several scholarship funds set up that makes up the majority of that, but there are all sorts of different funds that are available, and contribute to the community in lots of different ways. So again, it was a huge event, very well done. Jeff Robinson and Tom Bosco did
They do a great job every year.
They do.
they keep it light, they keep
Yeah.
it moving,
Yeah.
they make it fun, and yet honor the honorees and so on. So very, very nice event, good wrap-up for Arlene as she retires. I'll just go through a couple other things. We had Morpsey Thursday. Last Thursday was relatively quiet, a lot going on, but no real new things discussed. Career Center had their Hall of Fame dinner the same time as the foundation dinner, and I mentioned that because one of our own, Cindy DeNova, was a graduate of the Career Center and got inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was a very nice honor for Cindy, well-deserved. Congratulations to her. And I served on the Hall of Fame nomination committee, so I was aware of it, but unfortunately, because of the foundation dinner, I wasn't able to go. We had a really good economic development conference on Saturday that trustee Ryan Rivers at Orange Township put together, spearheaded. All three of us were there. Two of us were there.
I was out of
Merrill
town.
had another commitment. And it was very well done. The panel was outstanding. The trustee, I think most of the townships were there, were represented, a lot of the zoning people. And I think it was a good education, a good dialogue, and a good introduction of how important zoning is, because that was the focus of the conversation, how important zoning is to properly manage and plan the growth in Delaware County. And that was kind of the theme, is zoning is very important. Let's work together, to make sure that we get the right zoning in the right places and can manage and properly control the growth that is coming. And let's see, we've got a Great Places party luncheon, or not luncheon, but a celebration Thursday here at noon, I think it is. Jane took off. I think it's noon downtown Delaware. And that's in honor of Delaware's recognition as one of the great places in the country. I think there are 4 cities in the whole country that were nominated for this.
Amazing.
Yeah. Tim Wilson, the new CVB, Convention and Visitors Bureau Executive Director, is starting, and we're having a reception for him Thursday evening as well. And then lastly, just want to mention again, the state capital budget is applications for funding for various nonprofit projects, not operating expenses, but nonprofit projects are due November 1st. And I've talked to several nonprofits who are working on an application for various capital initiatives that they have. So anyway, we encourage the nonprofits in the community to learn about it and then get their application together to fund the capital improvement project that they have on the drawing board, and do that by November 1st. That's all I got.
And just thanks to Bob Lamb and Zach and Rob for the economic development discussion.
Yeah, my fault for not.
And it was really, Ryan played a big role, Ryan Rivers played a big role in that too, but it really did emphasize the importance of us talking all to each other, working out, zoning issues and other economic development issues.
Yeah.
The panel was excellent.
Outstanding panel. And again, I forgot to mention Bob, Rob, and Zach, and they did
It was
excellent collaboration.
And it was on a Saturday morning, but I think everyone.
I think we had 80 to 90 people there, so it was very well attended.
Yeah.
Mike Fromer was there.
Oh, yes, Mike was there, yes. You asked a great question.
She sounds shocked that you asked a great question.
Well, it was Saturday morning, so, it's, zoning plays such an important part, and really, when you talk about infrastructure and how to prepare for that growth, they really go hand in hand, even though the processes go very different tracks, and I think it's good to have the dialogue to pull them back together in the same
Right.
track, so.
Okay, we have need for executive session.
We do.
And also, we do have, just mention this now, a 1:30 PM viewing for consideration of the Watterson Ford, number 25, drainage improvement.
Resolution number 19-1030, in the matter of adjourning into executive session for consideration of appointment, employment of a public employer, a public official for pending or imminent litigation, and for collective bargaining.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion vote.
Vote on motion 19-1030. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
We're now recessed into executive session.
Resolution number 19-1031, in the matter of adjourning out of executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion vote.
Vote on motion 19-1031. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
And we do have an item today for other business. Resolution number 19-1032, in the matter of appointing Gerald Douglas Crew, acting treasurer for Delaware County.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Oh, sorry. Second. Discussion.
Yeah, I'll just think, we had an opportunity to talk to Gerald, and I think he'll do an excellent job of filling in the department during this 45-day interim period, and I believe he has the support of his staff, and I think we're going to be well served in the county by his service.
Yeah, he's been there 10 years and experienced, through a lot of different activities and so on, and he's got a good investment team behind him to manage the investments. And I think he'll fill in fine, and he'll work well with the other departments or the other offices that work with the treasurer. And
Yes.
so I think this will be a good interim appointment.
And absolutely, they have a good team working.
Good team, yeah.
And so I felt very strongly that we should have someone from that team. And Doug is the perfect person to assume the acting treasurer's duty. It's important that we do this now, too, because of the treasurer needing to sign documents. So we want that office to continue do the good work that they have under our former treasurer, John, and I definitely think that they will do that.
Commissioner, we might also add that he's also expressed that he is not interested in the long-term position, and he understands that he's filling in for this 45-day period, and I think that was important to, is very
Yes,
important to make.
yes, that is true. That's true. Vote.
Vote on motion 19-1032. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye. We are recessed until our 1:30 executive session for the viewing of the consideration of the Watson Ford drainage improvement.